What's up, everybody? It's Jared with Capture the Magic, and if you've been following Disney World in particular, you'll notice there has been a lot of refurbishments that have, a lot of them reopened or have been open for this summer. You got Big Thunder Mountain, you got Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin, you have the redo of Launch Bay into the Disney Studio lot, and one of the things that was announced that was going to be coming was the Carousel of Progress was going to be getting a Walt Disney animatronic. And now it seems like that entire ride is going to have a complete redo and refurb. And with modern Imagineering kind of in a little bit of a crossroads here, there are some questions and debate about, is this a good move? Is this a bad move? So in this video, we're going to go through all the things that are actually changing here and get some thoughts about if we think this is a good thing or if this is going to be a wait and see type of thing when it comes to this attraction. We're going to go through it all, talk about it, get some thoughts on it. All right, so this is coming from Orlando Park Stop. It's the only article I could find that really went through all of the new scenes that are going to be part of this ride. And if you weren't aware, I mean, Carousel of Progress has been a staple at Walt Disney World. I enjoy it. It's one of the things that we do very often when we go to Magic Kingdom. For one thing, in the summer, it's a great place to get out of the heat. It takes about 20 minutes to go through there. If you want to take a little bit of a nap sometimes, it's a good spot for a nap if you need one during the hot days, if you're in the park. But they'd also announced that this was going to be getting the Walt Disney animatronic that we saw displayed or really revealed out in Disneyland, which did reveal to some mixed opinions. I haven't seen that in person. I will say from the photos and videos I saw, I don't know. It seems not quite there, but I have talked to people that have seen it in person, and they say it is much better in person. So I will leave my thoughts on that when I finally do see it here when it's in the Carousel Progress. And it says here, Carousel Progress to replace every scene in major overhaul, and it's supposed to open in 2027. So I believe this is going down for like a year and a half. It says Carousel Progress at Magic Kingdom will be closing temporarily for a complete overhaul beginning July 6th, 2026, and the updated version will debut in 2027. In addition to the Walt Disney audio animatronic figure that will be added to the show's intro, which was announced previously, we now know that every scene of the attraction will be refreshed with new decades. The long-running attraction will see its story shifted 60 years into the future with all new scenes and upgraded animatronics. The upcoming Carousel Progress update comes after recent successes at the Magic Kingdom, including the praised new color scheme for Cinderella's Castle. The park recently upgraded its Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin ride with new modernized blasters, targeting, and scoring systems, vastly improving guest satisfaction scores. And I will completely agree with that. That ride is much, much better. It's actually one of the rides now that I want to do. It's very close, in my opinion, to Toy Story Mania. If you're at least like me, I'm competitive. I played video games my whole life. So that ride now, I actually do enjoy quite a bit. And then Big Thunder Mountain Railroad recently reopened after an intense refresh that saw its track replaced and new effects added. And I will say, as well as we've seen the studio lot kind of be unveiled over there in Hollywood Studios, but these recent small, these quick turnarounds here, the refurb of Big Thunder Mountain, the refurb of Buzz Lightyear, the studio lot expansion in Hollywood Studios, these things actually are pretty solid for what they're doing. And I think if you're looking at, clues and of what Imagineering is going to be able to do for these really big lands that they are currently constructing that are not going to be done for years, it's encouraging to see these types of refurbs have this pretty good quality there, I would say. I think the biggest question you probably have is, there's some, back and forth about Big Thunder Mountain. I was kind of disappointed in the final, finale scene they chose to do there, but the ride itself is smoother. It's a little bit quicker, and it still kind of has a heart of what Big Thunder is. There is some small things I do hope they add back in there that have some historical relevance to that ride. But I think some of these refurbs we've seen come back online, are encouraging that something like this may be handled well, maybe feeling a little bit more comfortable with it than I would have been maybe 1 or 2 years ago. But I think that's where a lot of the question marks around all these things are, is just current day Imagineering. Carousel Progress will also receive a massive overhaul of the entire attraction after it closes next month. After running for around 60 years, the Carousel Progress has seen a number of changes since its first debut at the 1964-1965 World's Fair. One of the last biggest changes saw the finale upgraded in 1994, moving it several decades later to incorporate the upcoming turn of the new millennium. So for the most part, this ride really has not changed. They've done a couple of things here and there to make it perform better and look a little bit better, but they really haven't overhauled this attraction since '94. We're going to go through all the scenes here that they did say that they're going to do here. So you have the intro scene, which this is where the Walt Disney animatronic will be seen, at least right away. It says, as had previously announced, the show's new introduction will feature an audio animatronic figure of Walt Disney. Disney says Walt is in a scene inspired by the 1964 special Disneyland Goes to the World's Fair, which is where he first introduced the idea of Carousel of Progress and shared his enduring belief in the power of progress to shape a better tomorrow. Many of the props and artifacts for the scene, like the ones seen in the official concept art above, are all sourced or recreated by the team working on the attraction's update. This includes the prototype Tiki Bird and the Tower of the Four Winds model, a doll from It's a Small World, and more. So I think the big question about, or one of the big questions about this, is this Walt animatronic. I've said the entire time, if you're going to have an animatronic of Walt, it needs to literally look like Walt. And I do hope, from what I've seen from the outside looking at a Disneyland's version, hopefully they have made some improvements to the one they're going to do in Disney World. There was just some slight things. It didn't quite look like Walt, but again, animatronics are difficult. But I think they're capable of doing it if they have the right people doing it. I think they've done that before. So I think a lot of the opinions and things about this will be set on, like, does this actually look like Walt? Does it sound like Walt? And, does it set the right tone for this ride when they do it? But obviously this is going to be a big, big part of this refurb, is adding in the Walt animatronic. And then Act 1 is going to be in 1969 summer. It says, in the first scene, which previously took place at the turn of the last century, the 1900s, at Valentine's Day, we now find ourselves 6 decades later in 1969. Now set during the same decade as the World's Fair, where the attraction first debuted, the new version will act nearly as a sequel, picking up right where it originally left off. The family, along with millions of people around the world, will be tuning into the historic moon landing in the new version of the scene, a moment that captures the spirit of innovation and possibility that has always been and always will be at the heart of Carousel of Progress. I mean, if we even went to the moon, I'm kidding. I'm just halfway kidding. I like to throw these things in here just to see people, what do they react to there? But there's plenty of people that have some questions. But obviously, the moon landing is going to be a big thing if it was in 1969. Then Act 2, you have 1985 at Halloween. It says, replacing the 1920s July 4th scene, the family now moves into the 1980s on Halloween, with John handing candy out to trick-or-treaters. Since he'll be busy with that, Sarah will take the reins for the first time in the attraction's history. Sarah is showing off all her new appliances and gadgets that make her life easier. Uncle Orville will still be found in the bathroom for this scene, as there's still no privacy around here. I guess it should be noted that the family in this attraction is not changing. So they are keeping the family the same, just changing the timelines here. So all those characters in there are supposed to be in this updated version. And then Act 3, you have 1999 New Year's Eve. It says the family is ringing in the new year and the new millennium in the scene that used to be the 1940s Halloween. Being in the end of the 1990s, the scene will talk about how this new thing called the internet is bringing people around the world together, reusing existing figures and settings, but updating them for the new time period. Grandma is now using the TV to switch over to wrestling instead of boxing. Maybe Grandma's an NWO fan. I know there's some speculation that she was watching The Rock or something, but I feel like in that time period, you would maybe NWO, bad Hulk Hogan, something like that.
This is for all my NWOites out there.
I also hope they do talk about Y2K. I remember that being quite a thing in 1999. If they don't talk about that, lost opportunity, because that was a really, really big topic and fear factor out there in 1999 before, 2000.
The computers taking over mankind.
And then Act 4 is the possible future. It says, replacing the current finale of Christmas at the end of the 1990s, the story is now moving the family into the distant future and even off the planet. That's interesting. With a helpful robot assisting in everyday tasks as seen in the official concept art for the new scene above and the incorporation of space travel, the scene imagines a future where extraordinary innovation has become part of life and proves that a beautiful tomorrow is just a dream away. I don't know how optimistic it is to have your possible future be that you're going to be on a different planet. This, to me, fits into the whole, dynamic that the Earth, like all these movies, the Earth is going to have this issue and we're going to have to go off planet. I'm not saying that couldn't happen, but I don't necessarily think that needs to be in a ride necessarily, where you're basically saying, like, the Earth's doomed, we got to go to another planet. I don't know if that's really what Walt would have wanted, but I suppose if this is just a thing of like, oh, we went and colonized the moon, and if you want to go live there, you can, I suppose. But just on its face from what I'm seeing here, I don't know if I like the idea that just the possible future is that we got to go off planet. Seems a little odd. I don't know how far into the future this scene's going to be, but I guess it's a choice.
Right. All right, we got to get the supplies, head up to the Poconos ASAP.
Disney says that to create this new finale, Imagineers looked back at original concept sketches by Disney legend John Hinch, drawing inspiration from his earlier vision of the future. Also kind of looks very Fantastic Four-ish. And it seems like even this scene here, and I think Disney I think if the Fantastic Four was a better performing movie, there were some rumblings that they might have redone like Tomorrowland in the vision of the world of the Fantastic Four they did in that movie. I think they're taking some elements from that, which I don't mind that design motif. I think that actually looks kind of cool, but the movie didn't do well enough to really have that take over. I'm getting a lot of Fantastic Four, Mr. Fantastic vibes in this scene, but, we'll see. So that is the scenes that they're going to redo here. And the opinions on this on social media have been a little mixed. We got Jenny Nicholson here that says the idea of a totally new animatronic show is pretty hype, but the idea of totally scrapping the existing Carousel of Progress is pretty sad, especially on such extremely short notice. Hope they don't do the Disney thing where they scrap the current and then cancel the replacement. That I agree with that. I do agree with that. Park Lore here says, I'm so serious that I think they should use this as an opportunity to send components of the original back to Anaheim and have two shows. Disneyland gets Walt World's Fair version from the 1900s, 20s, 40s, and 60s, and Disney World gets its Horizons-esque sequel, 1960s, 80s, 2000s, and the future. And I think that's the thing with this too, is like, I understand wanting to update this into, newer decades that have been going on since they updated this in 94. But I also don't like losing all the history of this. So I kind of wish there was a way to have all of this in some way, or extend this show or something like that. I don't necessarily like losing the whole turn of the century going into the next turn of the century. That would be kind of cool to see. So I think I'm kind of mixed on this. I can understand why they want to do it. I do have concerns about Imagineering, what they're actually capable of doing. But I also understand them wanting to update this, but I have reservations about anytime you start talking about history, especially major corporations. I think people are justifiably hesitant when they hear this, and I think that's completely fair, and I'm kind of in the same boat myself. And I think the thing that gives a lot of people a pause here, this comes from Boardwalk Times, that one of Walt Disney Imagineering's main goals for the Carousel of Progress update was to keep the attraction relatable for modern audiences.
There it is.
By featuring eras in which guests have personal connections. The term modern audiences has become very synonymous with uh-oh. And I don't know if Disney understands that. I don't know. And, maybe they have better intentions. But anytime you hear modern audiences, how many times in recent history we heard something being made for the modern audiences that has turned out to be better than things that came before it? There's probably some examples there. I really can't think of any, so I can understand the hesitation and the negative sentiment around this entire refurb, really just being such on short notice. I mean, that we knew this was going to go down sometime soon, but then all of a sudden they're just like, it's a whole refurb. We're doing the whole thing over again. This kind of gives you some little bit of, maybe for those with PTSD with the Rivers of America, that was just like, oh, by the way, this new Cars lane is going into the rivers. It's going away in like 2 months. It's sometimes Disney doesn't give you much notice here on the things that they're doing. Sometimes I wonder it's because they're kind of little, they don't know about the reaction this is going to get. So they figure the quicker they can get these things moving, the quicker they can move past it. It makes me pause. I'll just say, and I hope this is good. I have questions about this futuristic scene, sometime in the vast future where we're off planet. Like, there's a lot of ways this could go really weird. I hope they don't go this route of, trying to rewrite history and presenting things that weren't actually there because of the, quote, modern audience. I think that is a legitimate concern, and we'll see how they handle it. But I can understand the hesitation there, undoubtedly. And I think the real thing here is a lot of people will agree this ride does need a refurb. I mean, the seats, the carpeting in here, like, it could use a refurb, but does it need an entire overhaul? I don't know. I mean, I can see both sides of an argument here, Personally speaking, I like the idea there of taking parts of this, putting it out in Disneyland, that you've got that, the 1900s era going forward, and then you take this one in the Disney World as more of the updated version of it. I think that would be a very unique thing to do, to kind of bring, both eras of this ride where you can still experience them. Ideally, I like to have both of them in the same park, but obviously I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think they're going to include every era that, the current eras that they have and these new ones are going to do, because they're limited on how much they can do here. So my opinion on this is going to be, I can understand the reservations. I have them as well. But I suppose if you're taking in new information here, I'm somewhat encouraged by these new refurbs that Disney Imagineering has done. They seem to be pretty good. Like I said, Buzz Lightyear is a really solid ride now, which I did not like that ride at all before. I think the Muppets Rock and Roller Coaster looks pretty solid from what they've done there. I think the Disney Studio lot looks pretty good from what they're doing there as well. So if these new refurbs are any indication of what they might do with this, I'm somewhat encouraged, but I also do have some reservations when they start talking modern audiences, when they are just completely rehauling a historic attraction like this. I think if you've been following the Disney parks for very long, even just a few years, it gives you some pause, because you're like, okay, what are you guys going to do here? And I think there's lots of questions around that final scene as well. Like, how are you going to handle that? Are they going to bring in the whole, we had to escape Earth because of X, Y, and Z? Like, I don't think that paints a great optimistic vision of the future, personally speaking, but who knows how they handle that, what they do. But hopefully they treat this with reverence, they treat it with respect, they take this seriously, and they really do knock this out of the park. And I think, again, a lot of the judgment on this is going to be that Walt animatronic, but I guess that's all you can do. You can hope this is going to be good. Maybe under Tomorrow, this is going to go in a different direction. This is going to be treated better. You got, Thomas Masloom in charge of experiences now. You've got Joe Shute that's in charge of Disney World. It seems like he has a pretty solid resume. Used to be a Jungle Cruise skipper at Walt Disney World. I think there's things you can look at here. You could take the negative approach with this, and you can see a lot of the red flags there. Understand that. You can also look at some of the moves that have been made in recent history here and be somewhat encouraged by it. And I think my take here is probably not the best or the hottest for the internet, which is I'm just kind of in the middle. I see both ends of it. I hope it's great. I have my reservations, but I suppose we will see. And if it's good, I'll say how good it is. It's great, whatever. If it's bad, I will say that this is bad. They messed this up, and unfortunately would have messed up a really solid, historic attraction at Walt Disney World. And when there's more news about this or any other refurbs or things they're going to be doing in the parks, we'll be sure to talk about it here and let you know about it. But for now, that's going to be it, though, for this video. So if you like this video, please like it and subscribe to the channel, as we do all its coverage here of Universal Studios, Epic Universe, Disney World, and pop culture. And let us know in the comments, what do you think about all this? And until next time, we will see you in the parks.